people of the page, all you rough riders, what's happening, what's happening? It's another day, baby, another rainy one at that. Friday is here, the weekend is here. I'm back on the road after my Christmas hiatus. Took about 3 days off, guys, mainly because of the holiday, of course. Chilled out with the fam, hung out with the family, celebrated on the 2 days, and then yesterday I did some shopping. I cashed in some of my gift cards and all the, some of the presents and stuff. Returned some gifts, exchanged them. Took some time out to treat myself. Doesn't happen too often, man. And it's also been slow, so I haven't really been motivated to get out on the road. I did some Uber Eats last night. Nothing too crazy. Couple of runs here and there. Needed that. So, back to the topic at hand. I don't want to get into the whole Premiere thing again and why I feel like it's worth it. I've made at least 5 videos about why in the last month. And in the last year, I've made even more than that. So, what I want to talk about right now is on block versus off block. Again, I've made videos about this before, but I've never mentioned what I'm about to mention now. And I found out, of course, not definitive. The evidence is not definitive, guys. I'm going by what I have experienced in my conversation with other drivers. Now, over the last couple of days, I've been curious about this whole pausing thing. So I've been, inquiring about it, trying to figure out why they're doing it. I've met a lot of drivers on Reddit, social media. And I've met a couple drivers who, oddly enough, have told me that they need to schedule themselves or they don't get any orders. I told myself, all right, maybe they're in a slow market. In a slow market, you're not going to get too many orders off block like someone who, as opposed to someone who is on block, right? But then this guy told me that, he makes over $1,000 a week. It's busy every day. It's relentless. He's every week consistently he's making over $1,000 a week. And then I met a woman who drives for Grubhub and said the same thing. It's like, oh, if I don't schedule myself, I'm lucky I get one order every 3 hours. And I couldn't believe her. I was just like, seriously. Now, she makes good money too, driving for Grubhub. She was, telling me how much she makes, and she was in a busy market. And I said, all right, how could this be? Because I work off block a lot. In fact, the only reason why I pick up blocks is, to ensure myself that if it's slow, which it rarely ever is in my market, but if it is, at least I get the guarantee, the hourly minimum. And the other reason why I pick up blocks is because you need to, in order to keep your program level. Because if you don't work a block in a month, they reset your program level when you go back to partner driver. Now, I've made a lot of videos in the past about my experience as a partner and pro driver, or specifically partner, and my experience as a Premiere driver, and I compared the two experiences, and they were night and day. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I just want to mention something about working off block as a Premiere driver as opposed to working off block as a partner driver. Every single one of these drivers that I spoke to over the last week on social media have told me their acceptance rates are in the 40s and 50s. They make $1,000 a week. They make good money. It's busy. They can cherry pick because they're in a busy market. But in order to receive orders, they need to schedule themselves or they rarely get anything. So that was when I began to wonder, folks. I am the wonder man. I'm always thinking. always thinking, constantly thinking, asking questions. And I started to realize that your acceptance rate has a lot to do with the amount of orders you receive when working off block. I mean, if DoorDash does it this way, I just learned from a person who commented on a video of mine recently. Check my latest video, one of my latest ones. I think it was a video I made a couple videos ago. Someone said DoorDash, the way they distribute their orders is by proximity to the restaurant, of course. They try to look for the closest drivers. But they also prioritize drivers with higher acceptance rates. So if your rate is 90% and there's another driver with an acceptance rate of 60%, the driver with the 90% rate will get priority over the driver that has a 60% acceptance rate. Even though the driver with the 60% is closer to the restaurant, DoorDash will supposedly, according to what this person said, will give the order to the driver with the higher acceptance rate. And so it is very possible that Grubhub does the same thing. Because I work off block all the time. I'm a Premier driver. I have been for 2 months now, and I have been for most of the year. I work off block a lot. I'm driving to the region right now. My blocks don't start till 6 p.m. It is 4:30 right now. I'm going to flip on the app, and I expect to get orders right away as soon as I turn the app on. Always the case, every day, weekend, weekday, dinner rush, lunch rush, 3 p.m., 9 p.m. It doesn't matter. I always get pinged off block almost just minutes after turning it on. So, is it my market? Is my market different? It's very possible that there are very few Premier drivers in this market to begin with, and so everybody's treated equally, or maybe, there's a lot of factors to consider. I'm not saying that it is 100% true that your acceptance rate determines the amount of orders you receive off block. I'm not saying that. I'm just wondering about that. That's it, And I'm hoping that some of you guys can confirm whether or not you guys are busy off block. And if not, I'd like to know what your acceptance rates are, and I'd like to know if any Premier drivers are out there. How is it working off block for you guys? Again, it's all market dependent, But in a fairly busy market, if you're making thousands of dollars a week and you need to schedule yourself in a busy market, that's telling me something, man. Anyway, I appreciate the viewership, guys. Keep on shining out there. Keep on riding. Be safe in the rain. Remember to put your heat on. Keep the fog off the windows. Be safe. Drive at your own pace. I wish you guys nothing but a prosperous new year. I really would appreciate some feedback on this matter. I'm just really curious. I'm out of here, guys. I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm almost at the region. I'm gonna go flip on the app, make some money. I'm itching to get back on the road after having all these days off. I gotta make some money. Keep riding, guys. Keep on shining. Until next time, this is Antonio signing off.